Hey guys, it's Carl Brown for GuitarLessons365.com. Today we're going to learn how to play I Was Made for Lovin' You by Kiss. So we're going to take a look at all the guitar solos and all the riffs in this one as well. So we've got a lot to cover here. Now the tuning is a little weird. We're tuned down a half step, which is not weird. That's pretty common in guitar. So tuning all the strings down a half step. However, the actual pitch of the recording sounds about a quarter step sharp. So it probably had something to do with the recording or whatever, just when it was transferred or whatever. But it's so it actually sounds kind of between half step down and standard. So, but I believe they were actually doing it in half step down, and it just kind of got out of pitch when it finally made it to us. But anyway, so I'm gonna be a half step down here. So make sure if you don't know those notes, just look in the description. You'll have them laid out for you. So let's start here with that main riff, and it starts with this. All right, so that is the 9th fret on the G and the 8th fret on the B. Now as you play those two notes, just have those down already. Now add the 10th fret on the B string. So you're gonna pick the 9th fret on the G and the 10th on the B together, then lift up the pinky. And then you got those two notes you were holding before, so hit this. Then back with your 10th fret at the B, hit it twice, and then pull off to that 8th fret, so hit this. All right, now we're gonna kind of do the same thing again. You're gonna hold the 7th fret on the D string, it's the A note, and then the 5th fret on the G string. But you're gonna once again add your pinky here at the 7th fret on the G. So you hit the 7th on the D and the G together. Then lift up that pinky so you have the 5 on the G. And then play that again at the 7 on the G twice. And then pull off, just like we did this. So we had this. I'm sorry, I got ahead of myself here. We were doing the chorus there. So we have this, we have that there, but we don't do the pull off. We come up here, which is up here at the 9th fret on the D and the G, and then the 8th fret on the B string. So have those three notes down, but also have your first finger barred across those same three strings. You're gonna pick that chord twice, and then pull off all three of those notes to this D major triad. So from this E minor, so we have this all together. And repeat. All right, now we have underneath that another guitar that's just basically outlining the chords with just single note lines, and it's this. So it's palm muted here on the 2nd fret on the D string. It's just kind of a down up alternate pick down to the open A. Then back to that 2nd fret, over to the 5th fret on the A string. Just repeat it. All right, so we have that little kind of riff going on there, and we also have a fill that happens over the intro, which sounds like this. All right, so what's going on there? We're gonna pull off 5 to 3 to 0 on the B string. Over to the 4th fret on the G. Then a quick little, That's a pulling off 2 to 0 on the G, over to 2 on the D, and then hammer 0, 2 on the G. So all together, real slow. Start sliding up the string, and then we have this little phrase. That's a bend and release, a whole step bend and release at the 15th fret on the B, to 12 on the B, and then the same thing here, but bend and release at the 14th fret on the G, to 12 on the G. And then kind of a pre-bend at the 14 to 12, then 14, 12 on the D, and a quick little hammer on between 12 and from 12 to 14 on the D. All right, so that takes us to the verse, which once again has 2 guitar parts going. The main one sounds like this. All right, so we're just playing pretty much little bar chords there. We have the E minor here, which you've already played part of already. You're just gonna add the 7th fret on the A string there and the low E string. From there, we're gonna move it to the 10th fret on the A, and then you're gonna bar across the 12th fret on the D, G, and the B. The G major chord there. Take that same shape and move it down to the 2nd fret for a B major. And the last of the 4 chords is the same as the first. So just start over again now. Now here, instead of going back to the E minor, we're going to go now to an A major and kind of arpeggiate a little bit. And that leads us back into the actual chorus there. So we're going to start here. We have that, just go through 4 times, a few times, and now we're going to do the actual guitar part under it, which sounds like this. All right, so it's pretty much the same thing we were doing earlier. 2nd fret on the D string. Just down, up, down, up, down, up, heavily palm muted. Over to the 3rd fret on the low E. Just follows that chords we did, the chords we did earlier, and then the B note here. It's the 2nd fret on the A string. And once again, the same note that started it ends it. Then you start again. Same notes. But once again, this time, instead of going to the back to the E, we just go to that A major, a little arpeggiated chord there. All right, and then we get to the chorus, which is slightly different than the main riff that started the song. It sounds like this. All right, so very similar. We've pretty much covered most of this. So it starts the same way. And the thing I almost started showing you earlier is those 2 7s together, then down to 5 on the G with the 7 on the D there. So, and then back to the 7s, and then pulling off to the 5. So you do that first, and then you go back through and play it like you did in the intro. So that's the chorus. Once again. And once again, the guitar part underneath it just kind of follows the root notes of that. So we have this. All right, so it should be pretty self-explanatory what I was doing there. All right, so now we make it to the bridge section. Let me play through that real quick. Sounds like this. All right, kind of a little different ending there. So we have kind of a chord barring at the 5th fret across the first 3 strings, and then add the 7th fret on the high E with it. Then the same chord shape we played before for the B major and the G major, but it's at the 5th fret as that for a D major chord. Then up to the, hit it a couple more times, and then up to E minor, back to the D major, and then start over. So the 4th time through, when you get to that D major, that's when he starts building up. And then the open A power chord to the B. And then we have that section where just right before the guitar solo, where the bass line happens. Then the guitar comes in with the bass and goes into his solo. So let me play all that for you real quick. All right, so pretty short solo. So he comes in the middle of that, the middle of all the bass stuff that's going on with this little ascending line, heavily palmed 9, 10, 12 on the A string. And then we're here at the 12th fret here. I mean, I'm sorry, the 14th fret on the A string. You hold that quiet a while, just down, up, then over to the 12th on the low E. Then back to that 14, and that same ascending melody. So we have this. All right, from there he has the first phrase of the solo. All right, so we're gonna slide 12 to 14 on the A. So we have this over to the 12th fret on the D string real quick. And then you're gonna hit these 2 notes together, D on the 14th fret on the D, and then the 12th fret on the G. And then that's a bend at the 14th fret, whole step bend at the 14th on the G. Then play 14 normal, 12, then 14, 12. And then we're just back to, look. We had that quick little lick done twice. That's a hammering 12 to 14, pull back up to 12 on the G, over to 14 on the D, and back to that 12. So we have that done twice. Then we're to the bends here at the 15th fret. Couple whole step bends there. So do those bends. Then we have that's hammering 12 to 15 on the B, pull back up to 12. Over to 14 on the G, back to 12 on the B. we have a pre-bend at the 14th on the G, to 12 on the G, over to 14 on the D, back up, 12, 14 on the G, bend that 14 up again. As you're up there, grab the 15th on the high E string, pick that 14, bring it back down, and then that's 12 on the G to 14 on the D. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's a fun one as soon as you get it underneath your fingers. All right, I'll see you again soon.